Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of The Mandatory. Thank you so much for rocking with us on this Saturday morning, kind of a special treat because we don't usually do Saturday. So if you're rocking with us, thank you so much for joining us this morning. If you like the content, hit that like and subscribe button because it helps the channel grow. We're also on the audio side. So wherever you find your shows and podcasts, if you're on the go and you can't pull it up on YouTube, well, you can listen to us as well. And if you got a couple of minutes, leave a rate and review. Give us a 5-star because that's obviously going to help the channel grow as well.
Shakur Stevenson. And honestly, I have mixed feelings about this because, like, not just because I'm media technically, but not technically I am, but at the same time, it's like I do. Mike Coppinger is not the worst commentator in boxing. I think we have. I'll just play this. Let me shut up. I'm sorry, guys. Let me play this and then we'll talk about it. But this is Shakur Stevenson talking to Mike Coppinger in a ring interview. Mike Coppinger works for the Ring now.
Tough fight on paper, at least, against William Zepeda. Tell us why it won't be tough in the ring.
First, I want to say we were by far the worst commentator and interviewer in the business. Actually, this is his third take. But, William Zepeda is a great fighter.
Tough fight
Stop
on
it right
paper,
there,
at
Bryan.
least, against William Zepeda.
Okay, first off, if you're ever doing an interview, you don't do takes. I will say that. You don't do you don't do takes. I never redo a take. I've never redone a take. It's never happened in my 12-year career live on national television. I've never done it. I've never done a take like that. You don't have a guest. If you fuck up and you just keep going. You better land in a smooth sailing. I'll say that. So Shakur is right. Like if you're doing 3 takes in front of Shakur Stevenson, that's bad, Bryan. I hate to say it. Like when have you ever sat with an athlete and then done a take 3 times? It's never happened to me, not once. If I butchered something in my first line, I just keep going. I'll land.
Yeah.
I might trip a little bit, but I'll land. I'll have a smooth landing. So I actually wasn't mad at this. So, and this is great because Steven just said Shakur can be entertaining. He's entertaining in this. So continue to play it.
No, that was it. That was the whole clip. Because they don't play like the actual interview. There's another clip of like just the presser, which we'll get
No,
to.
because Mike Coppinger has a comeback when he says that. So like it's interesting.
Oh, what did he say? Because that's not part of this.
Okay. Well, he was just like, I forget what he said, but it was very sarcastic.
Okay, probably.
Like, it was very sarcastic.
A couple things on this is one, you're not wrong because I'm thinking about it. All right, I generally the only time I ever retake stuff is if I'm taping something long. Taping something long, but it's just me, right? You know what I mean? Like it's just me, like something I'm putting on YouTube or whatever. But if I'm sitting with an athlete or if I'm sitting with someone else in the media and we're doing something, like no, you just kind of roll with it. And if you fuck up, you could actually still make it funny and entertaining. And it's like, who cares at that point if you could play it off really well or lean into it? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, it can actually be turned into a really good thing. This was obviously a little more contentious because these guys don't have the greatest relationship, it appears. What I don't like also is, and this is a little inside baseball, but Ring Magazine putting Mike Coppinger in this position, meaning not that he's basically like, you're sitting with Shakur, who you don't have like the greatest relationship with, although that could be setting him up to fail also. But Ring Magazine, I didn't use their Twitter account, but Ring Magazine actually posted this clip. They posted this on their social media. You and I originally saw this on their Instagram page, and they posted Shakur Stevenson basically playing their own newsbreaker, their own reporter. ESPN would never do this with Shams Charania or Woj back in the day, or Adam Schefter. FS1 would never do this with Nick Wright or Colin Cowherd, so on and so forth. Like this would never be a thing. Meadowlark would not do this with Dan Le Batard unless they're leading into a joke because they joke around all the time. But this is like also putting your guy that you hired in a bad spot. And if I were Mike Coppinger, I'd be pissed, not at Shakur Stevenson, but at Ring Magazine.
Let me tell you guys a little quick story about media. I was in a clip that went viral because this athlete cussed in a post-game interview. And then it went everywhere and the team was like promoting it. And the national network that I worked for, which is like equivalent, I still work for them, which is equivalent to like the ESPN in the States. They told this team that if they do that again, they're not going to come there and do games. They legit said that. And like I heard that was a thing. And that's like
it's basically Canada's ESPN, people. That's
yeah,
just basically what the network.
and it wasn't like I didn't think it was a bad clip or anything, but like the team was promoting it, right? And it showed him cussing on our airwaves, and they didn't like that. Like they hated it.
Although
So
it didn't make you look
it didn't make me look bad, but it made
right.
kind of like but at the same time I just kept going with the interview. I was like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like shake or anything, but they just didn't like it because he cussed on the network and he knew not to, and it's a national game, right? And it's
Yeah.
like why are you doing that? But then they were promoting it. Like the team itself was promoting it, and the network was like, nah, like you guys need to stop doing that, because if you don't stop doing that, we'll see how many games y'all got there. But
And they have the pull to do that. We have some questions, some comments. Some people did note the why. So I appreciate that. I'm just saying because it's on the screen. I mean, it's just right there. But I appreciate that. We have
yeah, Nader, we won't put that up because maybe I shouldn't have told that story. It's just for y'all. It's just for y'all, that story.
Steven, yeah, if you tuned in live, this is what you get. Steven says Coppinger should be glad he's not in a Saudi prison for messing up 3 times. That's a funny joke. Clifton and XL are going back and forth talking about what are you guys talking about? He should have gone back at Kerr. We're calling Shakur Kerr. My basketball brain is like Steve Kerr, who just lost in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Golden State Valkyries game last night, actually. Tons of ammunition to get at Kerr. XL, I don't want to call Shakur Kerr. It feels weird to me, but
Yeah.
but I get it. You're cutting off a syllable. It's efficient. XL, speaking on Shakur, what do you guys make of the Breakfast Club interview with Shakur and the back and forth with Edgar Berlanga?
First off,
I pull that
I
up?
I don't know that Shakur Stevenson is fighting William Zepeda. So that was the first thing. It's Zepeda.
Who said Zepeda again?
It was
that
Charlemagne. Yeah, I was like,
Charlemagne.
what is going on here? Like, get the name right. If you don't know, maybe just call him William, right? Like, I don't know. I just started laughing. I sent it to Brian right away. I'm like, did you know that Shakur Stevenson's fighting William Zepeda? I thought it was like the funniest thing ever, but yeah.
Clifton says,
oh, I didn't know this. Wait, Nader, I didn't know you were from BC, man. I didn't know that. Good stuff. Sorry, he's from where I'm from, so this is cool. Thank you, Nader.
Oh, that probably explains why he follows the show. We appreciate you. Also, let us know if it's Nader or Nader. It's probably Nader.
Yes.
XL, I don't know because he wasn't really dissecting Langa, but Langa. Clifton, bro, you love cutting off the first you just hate like the first you just give everyone. Are you somebody who in your life you give everyone nicknames? You know what I mean?
I love it. I think it's
Would
funny.
you call Shantelle Tell? You know what I mean? Like
I don't know, man. I think it's actually pretty funny that he kept going with it. And look, Afro Soul is doing it now. Afro Soul is doing it. He's like, Kerr, my boy. But he was a dickhead in that interview.
Okay, Kerr, so I've heard. I've never heard Langa before. Actually.
Okay, I do have a question for you, Brian, and everyone in the chat. Do you feel like Shakur Stevenson was too rude to Mike Coppinger? Like, do you feel like he's being too sensitive and emotional with things that are being said? Like, do you feel like he was in the right or?
Well, I think this will answer your question. I don't think he's being any worse to, I don't think Mike Coppinger's being any worse or has been any worse to Shakur than other people have. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I'm not gonna go on my soapbox about he shouldn't call him the worst. I feel like he could do what he feels like. I just think I blame Ring for putting him in that position and for also posting the clip and trying to drive engagement. Haha, look at this funny that happened, even though it was the guy we hired to be our top newsbreaker. Again, other media outlets would not put their top person in that position, and they hired him to be their top newsbreaker because Ring Magazine knows, like all of us know, boxing don't really have actual newsbreakers like that, because everyone in this sport is full of shit. That's why I don't be trying to break news like that, even though I hear things. Let's get to actually sound from the presser real quick after Shantelle, you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, really quickly. Hold on. It's Nader. And also quick shout out to Nader because he's been following me since my radio days, apparently, which is really cool. So thank you, Nader. Yeah, I think you're OG for sure. Also really quickly, okay, let's play the Shakur stuff, but I also want to, do you have a clip of Shakur and Zepeda in the face-off and how Shakur kind of gets at Zepeda?
I could get it. I could pull.
Okay,
I could pull it up
we'll
after
pull this up first because I think it was a little bit extra, but we'll get to this.
So this is. I think this is going to be really boring, but let's see. We could laugh at how boring it is if that's the case. So I just wanted something from the press conference. This is the first thing I could guess. So this is from Golden Boy on Twitter.
Eric Gomez said it right about comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. I also
Floyd Mayweather comparisons from Eddie Hearn. All right.
put him with the likes of Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker, all of the greats. This is how good this man is. But for greatness, you need a great opponent. And that is William Zepeda. And this is the fight where Shakur Stevenson will show everybody how great and special he is. I think you're talking about pound for pound, #1 greatness from this man.
I think let's run back those names, Eddie Hearn. First,
said it right about comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. I also put him with the likes of Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker, all of the greats. This is how
Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker. Now, to be fair, there are people who think this, and there are people who think that he is pound for pound #1 potential.
Yeah.
Given
Hall of Famer names, though, those are like some of the greatest names in boxing of all time. So that's the only thing. I don't think Eddie Hearn should have did that to him. I don't think that's fair to Shakur.
Clifton says, spelling these names correctly is too much work. Here's $2.
we'll let you. We'll
I'm
let
lazy.
We'll let you be lazy.
I appreciate the honesty. Listen, this is why we have abbreviations and shit too. You know, people like I would be calling Edgar Berlanga EB in the chat. You know what I mean? What do you think of those names, Shantelle? Like, we all know how good Shakur can be, but
I think, okay, here's the thing, and I've said this on the show before. I think Shakur Stevenson is such a good boxer that I think he could go undefeated throughout his career. Now, that's not to say that he's going to be entertaining in every fight. He's just that good. And I do feel like he's going to get better. I don't think he's going to stay at this weight class. I think Shakur could go up to 147 and possibly take over 147. We could see some more power from him at 147. The only guy that I think, I don't know who I'd pick in a fight is him and Tank, if him and Tank fought. But I think Shakur Stevenson can beat everybody. Now, I also think he could be pound for pound #1 boxer in the world one day. But to compare him to those names right now, I just don't think it's doing anything for Shakur. It's not. Like, people are going to hate on that. That's not doing anything for him. So, in fact, I think Eddie Hearn should just shut up in that moment. Like, he's not helping out his fighter doing that, dude. You know that.
Well, he's doing his job to promote his fighter.
But that's the wrong way to do it, dude. That's like sitting down and being like, this is the perfect example. LeBron James is just like Michael Jordan. LeBron's been fighting that his whole career. LeBron is LeBron. We're never going to see another LeBron.
You mean when he's like a rookie or even before that? Yeah, leading up.
Yeah,
to
like,
because
you know what I mean?
to be fair, like, yeah, he's had to, like, that's been the expectation for him, and at the very least, he's come pretty damn close.
Very close, yeah.
Which is crazy because, like, he's one of the only athletes who had too much hype and actually lived up to expectations.
Yeah.
And I think probably to some succeeded them. Wow.
I'd probably say exceeded them. I think LeBron exceeded
I
expectations.
think so too, because usually it doesn't pan out as well as it does. Okay, we have the face-off. There are words.
Yes.
From Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda. William Zepeda spelled wrong here by Hassan, but that's fine. You know, typing fast, trying to get stuff up, it happens.
Nobody bumped me for you. That's the best out of 3.
I don't want to get flagged for the music.
Yeah. Turn off the music. No, but I just say that.
I want to see. I'll keep playing it because right now Shakur is just chewing his gum.
Does he push him yet? Because there's a point in time. I don't know if it was this face off, but Shakur like kind of gets a little bit.
Maybe in the one on stage.
Yeah,
I think so. That Zepeda wanted to look away, and Shakur just continues to want to stare at him. I hope William Zepeda surprises us. But what I saw in those two Tevin Farmer fights, I'm like,
oh, Jesus.
he I think he lost the first one. The second one is a little more debatable. We can give it to Zepeda, I guess. I didn't score that one as intently. I'd like to go back and watch it. But to be honest with you, I didn't think he looked great in either one. And again,
that's a great pause. You know what I mean? Like, look at Shakur's face.
Tevin Farmer is basically like a poor man's Shakur Stevenson at this stage. Like Shakur Stevenson is obviously like a good deal better at this stage, but Tevin Farmer's still really good, and I've loved Tevin Farmer for years. Like I've been a proponent of him for like 10 years, legitimately since the Angel Luna fight, and he's actually the first boxer I ever did a feature story on when I was writing in newspapers, first one. But if he could do that to Zepeda, then it's like you would think it doesn't always work out this way in boxing. It doesn't always work out this way in boxing. Because Rolly Romero just did it with Ryan Garcia, where it's like, oh, you saw how he looked against all these other guys. Like, yeah, he should be able to take care of Ryan Garcia. And unfortunately, for people who had bigger plans, didn't happen that way.
This is kind of interesting. Shakur Stevenson is trying to sell this fight like crazy, because if we go and take a look at some of the press conference where they're on stage, he's trying to get at Zepeda. Zepeda's not really giving him too much. Shakur's really trying to sell this fight because I think Shakur knows what's on the line in terms of how many people want to see his fight and how many people call him entertaining. And I do think it's taking a toll on him, because why else would he snap on Mike Coppinger? Like, why is he snapping on these dudes, right? Like, so I think there was a little bit of insecurity there, to be honest with you. But I don't think Shakur should feel that way. I think he should fight how he fights. And if he wins, he wins. Like, not everyone's going to enjoy your fight style, dude. Right? Like, but he's good. Yeah. So that's how I feel about Shakur. Like, I think he should just be himself, because he's great. He's going to get to greatness regardless. I know how this fight is going to go. And going back to William Zepeda, I like Zepeda, but Tevin Farmer won the first fight. And you could say that Tevin Farmer won the second fight too, if you wanted to, if you really wanted to.
All right, let's go. We badly need to get to our next topic.
With the guy who we want to fight Tank, actually.
yeah, actually. Especially because in a few minutes here, the Liberty are playing the Aces, and I would like to see that. We have Clifton. I agree with Shantelle on Kerr, and LeBron James has exceeded expectations. Nader says Shakur very well might reach those heights in the next 5 fights or so. I think he needs the opponents. Zepeda is actually going to be his second best win after Oscar Valdez, I would say, at this point. Yeah. And I think it's a good opponent. Like, this is a necessary opponent for him at this stage. And then after this, it's like, all right, is it going to be like people are going to want Tank, but maybe it'll be somebody else. It's not going to be Keyshawn Davis. They're too close. I don't think they're ever going to fight each other.
Do you think Loma will come back? Because we haven't seen Loma in a very long time.
Well, Loma's supposed to he has a deadline to come back, and he's supposed to fight Raymond Murataya next. And now we found out Andy Cruz is having an eliminator. Oh, okay. So the way the IBF is doing this is like, Loma, are you going to come back or not? Because we have an interim champion in Raymond Murataya. If you're going to come back, you have to fight him at some point. And then Andy Cruz, assuming he wins his next fight against, I'm forgetting who, but Japanese dude. But let's assume Andy Cruz wins, because he probably will. Andy Cruz would just be the mandatory. And then it's like, okay, This is where Loma is. He's going to have to fight Murataya. And then they'll probably be like, all right, if you beat Raymond Murataya, if I think he should, but I don't know. He's older now and he's less active. But the winner of that fight would face, theoretically, Andy Cruz. So Loma might be tied up for a while by the IBF is the point, if he even comes back.